Alright, warm up bit, everybody. Okay. First things first. I got another viewer request. But man, Plick, you gotta fucking help me on this shit. What? You want me to look into extradition treaties and how that applies to fucking Prince Andrew? I imagine over the Epstein shit? Like, I don't. For what reason? What are we? Do we want to extradite him to here? Put him on trial or something? Like, what exactly do you mean? I need some help here, man. I don't get exactly what you mean. But I'll tell you this: if it's why can't we get Prince Andrew extradited to the U.S. to face trials for this shit? Because he's a royal. He's Prince Andrew. There will never be a world in which the royal family of Great Britain is going to extradite one of their family members to any other country to find any sort of justice against any fucking thing. I don't care if Prince Andrew raped 100 baby corpses. They're not going to extradite him fucking anywhere. Never. So, I mean, there's that. Like, I don't give a shit what the extradition treaties are, and I don't think the royal family does either. And that's kind of the thing. They're never going to extradite a fucking royal. They will extradite anybody else on that island, except somebody that has prince, princess, king, or queen in front of their fucking duke, duchess, all that shit, man. Like, if you've got a title that's oldie timey, if you've got a medieval title in the modern day, your family members are gonna extradite you to fucking anywhere. But so I don't know exactly what it is, because the way you kind of laid it out, I'm confused as to what it is exactly you want me to do with that. But maybe I've already answered the question. I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of a weird one. Like, my note for it was extradition treaty with UK and how it relates to Prince Andrew. I'm like, because he's a royal, they're never gonna fucking do that shit. I don't know. That might not be it, but again, I don't understand. Help me out here, man. Second thing, also another warm up bit. Ready? I saw an article this morning that said that the audience reviews for Superman are in. And I was like, oh. And apparently it has like a 96%. And I'm like, shit, it might be really good. I'm like, James Gunn is pretty amazing at what he does. He's not a smart man, but he's very creative, right? He's not smart enough to read the room and shut the fuck up and make the fucking movie. He's not smart enough to do that shit. But he's smart enough to make a damn good movie. I will say that. I think I've liked every movie I've ever seen that he's done. And he does a lot of fun movies that I like to watch. I love Guardians. Anyways. So I'm like, okay, well maybe he actually made a good movie. Fine. And then I hear today on the radio they were saying that apparently it's not a woke disaster. That for some odd reason James Gunn is just fucking retarded. And maybe he was told, no, don't be retarded, just make the fucking movie. And so he had to make a good movie. And he made a good movie so that then he could get on interviews and be retarded. Like, I don't understand. It's somewhere in there a whole bunch of retardation got into the shit. Right? Okay. Even after that, I look at the comments. And I see that somebody actually commented on that video. That they saw it. And it was great. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I started to get hype. I'll admit, I started to get hype. And I was like, shit, maybe I'll buy it new. Maybe as soon as it comes out, I'll have to buy that thing and then do a review of it. I'm like, I don't know, man. And then I started to think. And I remembered that there is many fundamental realities. You can be a Star Wars fan, or you can be a Star Trek fan, or you can be marginally interested in both, right? You can be an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy, or you can have both, but you really only play on one or the other. Like, I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox. I usually play on my Xbox because I have thousands of dollars on my Xbox. Now, you can be a Marvel person, or you can be a DC person, or you can be kind of interested in both, but most likely you're going to like Marvel more than DC. Because DC is shit writing. The writers would constantly write themselves into a fucking corner and go, shit, how do we get Superman out of this? I don't know, he can do this now. And characters just started picking up fucking powers. Like, I remember when The Flash was just really quick. He didn't travel through fucking space, time, and the Speed Force and all this fucking wild, what the fuck shit. Like, he wasn't able to vibrate his atoms apart and then walk through walls. Like, dude, he was just quick. Like, Superman was amazing. He was strong. Strongest, most toughest, flies and all that shit. Laser beam eyes. And then all of a sudden he can do the craziest fucking shit. And I'm like... Because they would write themselves into corners because they suck at writing. And instead of saying, well, shit, maybe he just loses this episode. No, it's Superman. Superman can't lose. It's fucking Superman. Dude. Awful writing in DC. I like a lot of the characters. I'll admit. Love Batman. The writing in Batman's amazing. Batman is like the only exception. Batman is a Marvel character that somehow got entirely teleported into DC, and that just is a thing. But, like, seriously, Batman and all of his entire murderers gallery of enemies, every one of them, all of them, are all Marvel characters, in my mind. Right? Because that's the storytelling you get in Marvel. In Marvel, the characters have some sort of fatal flaw. Right? They've got some sort of weakness. And it's not rocks from their own planet. Like, kryptonite comes from Krypton. So is it Superman's exposure to the yellow sun that all of a sudden makes that rock, like, super radioactive to him and weaken him? Or is it like kryptonite is Krypton's version of, like, fucking uranium? Right? It's just really radioactive. And they just try to stay away from it as much as possible because it's bad for you. Like, what? Whatever. Anyways, but, like, that's his only weakness. You gotta get a rock next to him. And then he's fucked. Cool. Dude, and even that, man, fucking, there was a cartoon. It was like Justice League Dark Part 2 or some shit like that. And, oh my god, dude, like, fucking Apocalypse, or Darkseid, fucking tattooed Superman with liquid kryptonite. He tattooed the super fucking symbol on his chest. And still he was picking robots up over his head, tearing them in fucking half. Like, anyways, they write themselves into a corner because it's cool, and then they just have to blast up the power. Like, go watch Death Battle. Every time there's a Marvel character versus a DC character, guess who wins? DC character. Because they're retardedly powerful. Every one of them. Every time it's a Marvel character versus a DC power, the DC character always wins. Always. 100% of the time. Because 100% of the time, the DC character is retardedly powerful. So you be a DC person or a Marvel person. I'm a Marvel person. I think it should be obvious at this point. I love Marvel. And in reality, you can see that play out. Right? Marvel people. We loved the Marvel movies all the way up until the Marvel movies started to suck. And then we were like, fuck you. This sucks. Right? We admitted it. This is a bad movie. This is crap. Ugh. They could have done so much better. They could have actually used the Mandarin as a fucking enemy. Right? And then I look at DC people. And they love all those movies, no matter how shit they are. And what really did it for me was Justice League. Zack Snyder makes this ridiculous movie. And the studio goes, oh my god, what are we going to do? This is going to be so much shit. And they said, let's bring in Joss Whedon to just put it together and make it as good as he can. And Joss Whedon came in and went, alright, what am I working with? And he was like, oh, fuck me. And he pieced it together as best as he possibly could to make as coherent of a storyline as he could that's good enough to be as good as he can make it. Right? And everybody shit on him for everything that Zack Snyder gave him to work with. Everybody shit all over him for that. And said how terrible that movie was. It was such a thing, I was like, well, I gotta see it. It was on sale, I bought it, watched it. And I thought it was fun. Was it amazing? Nah. But there was a lot of really cool parts. And there was a lot of things that I really liked. I got pretty immersed in it, all in all. But it was fun. It wasn't great. It was barely good. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I bought it. I've watched it many times. I really liked it. And then Zack Snyder's like, I could do better than that. And everybody went, yeah, Zack, show us what you got. And Zack Snyder took everything that Joss Whedon did and he inserted 2 extra hours of people walking slowly. And everybody went, oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And I went, wow, I gotta see this. And I actually watched all fucking 4 hours of that trash monstrosity. And I was like, yeah, people that are really into DC are fucking retards. Because that Zack Snyder cut is the worst piece of dog shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. He literally found a way to remove everything I thought was cool in the Joss Whedon cut. And he inserted literally an hour of people walking slow. Like 5 minutes of a creepy blonde pale girl vampire lady like singing a fucking dirge. Like, dude, it was, I fucking despise the Zack Snyder cut, and you all loved it. So I've seen what makes you cheer. Your boos are meaningless to me. And I'll wait till it's on sale. And I can't wait to tell you what I think of it.
What madness is this?
Alright, now, time for the actual video, right? So, the Epstein thing is fucking, everybody's talking about the fucking Epstein thing. Everybody that I watch, Asmongold reads me the news every day. He has replaced Tim because he's infinitely more entertaining. So, I have Asmongold reading me the news now instead of Tim. And all he wants to fucking talk about is goddamn Epstein shit. And I'm like, you can bitch and cry as much as you want, man. But this time next year, ain't nobody gonna fucking care. Like, we're gonna be moved on to other shit. I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna be, there's nothing. Pam Bondi's gonna get fired. Because sooner or later, they all fucking are. Like, you seriously think Cash is gonna be the head of the FBI? When Trump ends his term? No. There's gonna be 3 or 4 guys after him. Like, dude, everybody got fucking rotated in his last administration. So Pam's gonna be the first. She's gonna be the first to fucking go. And whatever. She was fucking Nimrod. She did dumb fuck shit. She said, yeah, oh yeah, I got everything that you're thinking about. And she just... They all were stupid about this shit. And that's just it. They all said some shit because it was politically expedient at the time. And here we are with nothing. We've got a library full of kiddie porn and nobody that we can fucking bring up on charges because there's not enough evidence to say, yeah, this is this person did whatever the fucking reasons are. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. Anybody, anywhere, who even mentions that one fucking minute of missing video is not serious about this because they are not thinking clearly. 1 minute. We're at 16 minutes, 33 seconds. Minutes take a long time. But like, imagine it. 1 minute. Is that long enough to walk in frame a couple feet up to a door, open that door, walk into the room, strangle a man to death, tie him up in a sheet, tie the sheet up to the bed, hang him there like he hung himself, go back out, close the door, and walk off frame in 1 minute. People are freaking out about 1 minute. Done. 1733. That's 1 minute. You seriously think that in 1 minute you're going to strangle a man to death? Again, you dumb fucks. This isn't the fucking movies. Like, I understand. It's a real life James Bond story. He's fucking, he works for the intelligence agency of fucking Israel, right? Because, of course, it's Israel. Fuck the Jews. So he's an intelligence asset for the Israelis. And all he does is come over to the U.S. and get famous people and political figures to come with him to this island where it's like, you know, the fucking in Dr. No or whatever, and you fly into the island on a ship and it's got like a hologram wall, and you land and then just fucking 12-year-old bitches, wall to wall, just sucking you off as soon as you get off the plane. But everywhere is cameras and shit, right? Because God knows that an extremely wealthy man in New York certainly isn't going to have a security system that involves fucking cameras all over his house. That's just retarded. Obviously, it's because he's an Israeli spy and he's collecting videos of Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, and every famous person I hate is on one of those videos, right? 1 minute. One minute's fucking nothing. What are you doing? You can't strangle a man to death in 1 minute. It takes longer than that. I know, because every time I think about strangling you fucking idiots, it takes me hours. I mean, it doesn't help that I do it as slow as possible and give you a breath every now and again just to fucking continue it. But nevertheless, 1 minute? You cannot do it. The only thing you've got going in your favor at that point is that Jeffrey Epstein was on suicide watch because he did try to kill himself before, and maybe he would cooperate and hold his fucking breath while you wrapped your fingers around his throat and crushed his hyoid bone. In 1 minute! You've lost your fucking minds. Like, you've lost your fucking minds. You're not gonna walk into frame, go up to that door, open a fucking jail cell. What, 3 fucking guys pile in? 2 of them jump him to still not strangle him in under a minute while another guy fucking wraps the sheet around the bed. Is this what we're telling me? In 1 minute? 1 minute! I mean, look, dude, it's already crazy enough that the cameras are fucked up, but now we have camera footage. So, okay, so the cameras weren't fucked up. Fine. Well, we have the footage now. And nothing happens. Except for the wild flashlight murdering that happens in less than a minute where he just got strangled. In 1 minute. You're out of your fucking minds. I don't even know what else really to say. Like, that's why I did 2 other fucking warm-up bits before I talked about the actual subject. Because what else do you really say? 1 minute. 1 minute. Think about it. You ain't gonna strangle a dude and rig it up to look like it's suicide in a minute. And you're not gonna pile fucking 5 guys into a jail cell to speed up the process. They're gonna be bumping into each other. The cells are kind of small. You can do 2, 3 guys at most. But that's 1 guy to tie the fucking noose and 2 guys to fucking strangle him. And he's still not gonna be dead in a minute. I mean, we all remember the rules of 3, right? 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That is the amount of time that an average person can live. 3 minutes without air! Oh, well, they just came in and chopped him in the throat real quick and then wrapped it around his head because it's Jet fucking Li. And it just... And then bam, out the fucking way. Yeah, I bet that's exactly how it happened. Because again, we're all imagining this is a fucking James Bond movie. It's just amazing to me that there can't possibly be any other reason why that minute is gone except to fucking not show the action star that they had run in there and fucking murder him up real quick in less than a minute and make it look like a suicide and be out the fucking way. Man, that minute's very important. We gotta see that minute. That's when it all happened, right? And there's no possible reason that a wealthy man in New York would have cameras all over his house other than to fucking blackmail wealthy people. Again, I still believe that every person I hate is on one of those videos. But I'm beginning to think about it more. And the more I think about it, the more I go, I mean, it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud. And I start thinking about it. They keep saying, we've got nothing. And I'm like, well, how are they getting to nothing? And I start thinking about that. And I'm kind of coming up with a whole bunch of ways that are a lot more simple than he's an Israeli fucking spy blackmailing everybody. So, I mean, I don't know. It's another one of those things that is pulling me the other way. 1 minute. Everybody's losing their shit over 1 minute. And you're all fucking laughable. Like, and this is the shit that makes me really go, ooh, maybe I'm retarded too. But like, I really kind of think all y'all are fucking retarded. That are so apeshit about this 1 fucking minute. Dude. Like, consider what you're saying. Don't just keep saying it. But there's a minute gone. Yeah, no shit. What does that mean? 1 minute. It's a fucking slice of nothing. And far less time than it takes to strangle a fucking man to death. Now, please, flood me with comments of, no, actually, it only takes about 35 seconds to straight. Fuck you. No, it doesn't.